What we are looking at here is the cell membrane. This is a model. This is what's called a cross-section view of the cell membrane. So a cell membrane is really a sphere. If you imagine your cell as an orange, for example, if you think about an orange and how the orange has the peel you can peel off, a cell membrane is kind of like that, except you can't peel it. A cell membrane is a layer that surrounds the entire outside of a cell. So imagine a cell like a ball. We never see pictures of the cell that way, but a cell really is a ball. And if we cut the ball in half and look down at that cut, this is what we're looking at. This is a very simplified form of the cell membrane, and in another video I'll show you more of what the cell membrane actually looks like. But this focuses on these little things right here, which are called the phospholipids. Lipid means fat. It's one of your 3 macros that you have to eat, and you have to eat the fat to help you make things like your cell membrane. Phospho is for the phosphate head, which is the red part on each one of these. Okay, so what we're looking at is the phospholipid bilayer. It's called bilayer because there are 2 layers. And the interesting thing here is that the outside is what's called hydrophilic. And by that I mean the red parts on both sides. Let me move this. Hydrophilic, I hope you can see that. And the red part on both sides, whereas the center part here, these little tails in the center, are what are called hydrophobic. So let me draw this here. I'll draw another one. Okay. The center part is hydro or water phobic. So even though the name says scared of water, it's really just that the center tails don't like water, whereas the heads here are, sorry, let me get the lid off. Hydrophilic. Philly meaning love, and it just means that the heads are fine being in contact with water, whereas these tails in the center don't. So that's why the tails align together here, and the heads are pointing both in and out. Okay, and the nice and interesting part about the cell membrane is that keeps random objects from going through the cell membrane. So the cell membrane is what we call selectively permeable. Only some things can go in and out easily. And in another video, I'll show you different channels and how things move in and out. But what I want to show you now is just how certain molecules diffuse through. And remember, diffusion is passive. That means with the concentration gradient, so from high to low. So if I put some oxygens out here, and there's just an oxygen in there, the oxygen is actually small enough, it's actually technically a little molecule that looks like that. Oh, sorry, just a double bond. Okay, and that can sneak right through here through the phospholipids. So let's look at that. So an oxygen can sneak right between the phospholipids. It doesn't bother the tails or the heads. Whereas bigger molecules and molecules like water have a hard time going in and out of the membrane. It also means that carbon dioxide can go in and out as well. So again, if we say the high concentration of CO2 is inside the membrane, and we want to get that CO2 out of the cell, right? That CO2 can go in between and out of the cell. So that's our CO2 leaving the cell and diffusing out. And that doesn't need any special equipment, any special anything. Those can just go in between those little phospholipids to move in and out of the cell. Thank you. I hope that's helpful, and be sure to watch my second video about the different protein channels that help bigger and other things move in and out.